The Bears are really beefing up that defensive line and looks like they're going to have a really strong competition in order to make this 53-man roster. And right now they currently have Andrew Billings, Gervon Dexter Sr, and Zaach Pickens as our locked-in rotation at the moment. But in this league, you can't just have three defensive linemen. But the Bears are hoping to hit on a hidden gem, it looks like, not going through free agency and signing anyone at the moment. And they're going through undrafted rookie free agency, which they have brought in a ton of them. But there is one guy that I don't think anyone has hit on yet that has really just flown under the radar. And looking at his stats, he could be someone really special, whether that be on this team on the 53-man roster or even on the practice squad and rotate on and off the active roster, depending on injuries. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this Friday's episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Vic Rohde, and as always, thank you for tuning in, and happy Friday. I am hitting on a big defensive lineman out of Arizona State today, who is a backfield machine and a local Chicago kid who's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And that guy, Dashaun Mallory, a big defensive lineman who attended Michigan State and Arizona State that had a monster season last year when he transferred over to the West Coast, that raised his stock significantly and clearly caught the interest of Chicago Bears scouts. We have a lot of undrafted rookie free agent defensive linemen at the moment, but this guy's stats stick out to me, and I'm going to break down why he's going to be a lot of fun to watch at camp. And before I begin today's show, smash that like button on this video, one, because it's Friday and everyone should be having a great day today, along with welcoming Dashaun Mallory to the Chicago Bears, and comment bear down in the comment section below if you're ready for Chicago Bears football. If you haven't already, if you please could hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news and content. Now, let's talk a little bit more about Dashaun Mallory and what the Chicago kid brings to the table. Mallory is a defensive tackle who played in the NCAA for 5 years due to COVID, and he attended Michigan State and Arizona State. Standing at 6'2", 285 pounds, he is not a small man by any means, and he's built pretty darn impressively. He's too big to be an edge, at least from a weight perspective, but he is a very athletic build that allows him to be a scary interior defensive lineman and take advantage of other interior offensive linemen who just can't keep up with him. He is 22 years old due to playing 5 years in the NCAA, but he's still a young guy with a big career ahead of him. And hey, he's a Chicago Bears fan, so clearly this guy is going to want to play for this team and play hard. He showed off at Arizona State's Pro Day where he ran a 5.12 40 time for a guy that big, which is pretty darn quick, but he really doesn't need all that much speed because he shows that with his strength and agility. His bench press, he did 225 19 times, so very strong for his size. Along with that, he had a 30-inch vertical, which is impressive too for being 6'2", 285 pounds, which allows him to bat away passes over the middle when needed, and I'll break that down a little bit more into his stats. But overall, very big athletic kid from the Chicagoland area, can do a lot, and looks like he's going to be a lot of fun to watch. We've always had those defensive players that were like, oh, please make the roster. I think that he's going to be one of those guys that fans fall in love with quickly, especially with the energy he brings to camp. So his stats. Last year at Arizona State, he exploded on the scene after transferring away from Michigan State. He wasn't getting enough playing time, so he went to a place where he thought he would do better, and he absolutely proved that because a change of scenery for some guys is good, and this guy absolutely did that. His first 4 years before 2023 were at Michigan State. He only had 43 total tackles along with 7 tackles for loss and 2 pass deflections with 2.5 sacks. You give him the starting role at Arizona State in 2023. He played in 12 games with 48 total tackles. Impressive. Solo being 26. Okay, absolutely love that. 22 of them being assists. Good teammate, definitely helped stop the run. On top of that, 10 tackles for loss. So he had more tackles for loss in his final season versus the first 4 years prior. Give this kid an opportunity, he's going to do great things. Not only that, I said he had 2.5 sacks in 4 years. He had 2 sacks last year for Arizona State. Super impressive. And then on top of it, he had a career high in pass deflections with 4 pass deflections due to his big size. So I talked about swatting away passes earlier, and he clearly shows he can do that. So the Chicagoland kid was given the opportunity last year, took advantage of it. I think because, he only had 1 year on the books being a defensive tackle where he was able to show what he could do. definitely hurt his draft stock a little bit, but overall, he still got picked up by a team because 48 total tackles for an interior defensive lineman is pretty darn impressive. And as it's Friday, I hope you guys are enjoying the day and have a good weekend ahead, because today's sponsor is Freshie Organic Tequila Seltzer. Comes in 3 great flavors of only 99 calories. Support the Chicago-based startup by getting your Freshie today at the link in the description to find Freshie near you. So what does this guy bring when he is on the field? Scouts really like his ability of the swim move, which is one of the more dangerous tools that he uses out of his tool shed to get into the backfield and get keys tackles for loss. Not only that, he is very strong, so he's able to throw offensive linemen off of him due to his speed and strength and allow himself to get to the backfield in order to make a ton of pressure on quarterbacks and running backs as well. He also has very good footwork where he uses a strong spin move, according to scouts, and that helps him get around interior offensive linemen and out of double teams because he's able to, squeeze the gap real quick. And that is what has allowed him to be the player that he has become and the tackling machine that he is. Finally, he just plays mean. He is not afraid of anybody that's across from him. He's not afraid of anybody that talks to him. He doesn't care. He wants to go after the football, and he does his job, and he definitely did that this past year in 2023, and that is why he got the attention of the Chicago Bears scouts, because that's what we need. We need someone who's mean, we need someone that's nasty, and we need someone that gets the job done, and he absolutely brings that to the table, and he's going to make a good competition for that final 4th man spot on the defensive tackle line. So I think that even if he doesn't make the roster, I think he'll be a good practice squad guy, because he'll be able to rotate in and out when injuries happen, because they are bound to happen. There's no doubt about that. It's football, guys. People are going to get hurt. But he could make an opportunity for himself to get picked up elsewhere. I mean, this guy brings a lot to the table, and you always want to cheer on the Chicagoland kid. But he's an athletic player, good head on his shoulders, plays hard and also when he's given the opportunity, he takes full advantage of it. So I'm excited to see what he can do at camp and hopefully get to see him ball out and make that 53-man roster. Eric Washington, again, defensive coordinator, is known for developing defensive linemen. So this kid is in a good place in order to start his NFL career. But again, make sure you smash that like button to help welcome into Chicago. And if you're just happy that it's Friday, along with commenting, bear down in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, and you please could, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in, and bear down, baby.